Hello, this is the review of the Montblanc 49 calligraphy nib, and this is a pen that I've been waiting for a long time. In terms of the packaging, it comes in this cool, expressive calligraphy packaging. It says Meisterstroke calligraphy nib Montblanc. It's just a big packaging, flexible nib special edition, and I believe this is discontinued now. And I waited a year and a half for my pre-order to deliver, and I've been testing it out for a few months now. In terms of the nib, I have two other Montblanc 49 reviews, so I'm gonna focus more on the nib than the pen itself. But as you can see, this is a cool looking nib. This is a specialty nib that the Montblanc offers, and this was in two models, the 146 and the 149, and I decided to get the 149 version. As you can see, it says 48110, 48110, which is dense plastic feed. And it's just a regular Montblanc 49 plastic piston and whatnot. There's nothing really that much different about this snow cap logo like the regular 149s. The regular clip, this is in the gold trim. And you have the serial number on the clip as well, on the band that's near the snow cap as well. Then you have Meisterstroke on the band, number 149, and Montblanc. So it's the regular stuff, and you have the piston knob in the back as well, and you have the striated ink windows. So it's your typical gold trim 149, the Mon version, and the nib is a monotone gold nib. It's an 18 karat gold nib, and it looks beautiful. It's plastic feet again, and it's a diamond shaped nib, unlike the M1000 or something like that. So it's a great nib, and how it holds is similar to what every other 149 is. You can post it, and it's pretty balanced because it's a plastic piston, so it actually balances pretty well when you post it. But I don't post my pens. Nevertheless, it's still a great pen to use. And yeah, so in terms of the pen itself, there isn't really that much different than other pens, the other 149s. So I'm just going to compare it to like M1000. As you can see, they're both big nibs. So yeah. Then you have the Palette Custom E23, which is actually like a little bit longer than the 149. Then you have the Lamy 2000, the Blue Bathhouse limited edition version. The nib is what the point of this video is mainly. So as you can see, the 149 nib is diamond shaped, and it's just a beautiful nib. It has expressive flexi variation things on it, so it's a very cool nib. But it doesn't have the cutouts like other flex nibs, like the Pilot number 15, number 10 size nibs. So it's like a special Montblanc's own calligraphy nib. So they made it in-house, and they will be releasing I think they released a new one already for this year. It's in their solitaire version, which is only in the 146 so far. And this is a piston filler like all Montblanc Meisterstroke series fountain pens, 146, 149, the ground version. So yeah, this is no different. This holds about like 1.3, 1.4 millimeters of ink. And yeah, and one of the downsides of the big nib is trying to get ink through like small bottles like this. This is a Montblanc Jazz Blue limited edition bottle from Montblanc themselves, and it's hard to fill a bottle with this, especially if you're not like brand new, because the 149 nib is pretty big. It's hard to accurately draw up ink without damaging the nib. But that's one of the cons that comes with big nibs, just fine anyways. And it's a great nib, and yeah, it's a piston filler like all 149s, and it also has the same downsides of all 149, which is you cannot clean it because you need a special tool to unscrew the nib section, which I discussed in my other reviews of 149s. So I'm not going to go too deep into this. I'm just going to focus on the writing. So 1149 calligraphy nib, 18 karat gold nib, and in this case I'm using Montblanc Jazz Blue. So this nib, you can write with this for regular handwriting, and it's fine if you like extra fine writing. So it is not like super soft as some people make it out to be. It's actually pretty firm. It's similar to Pilot's number 15 FA nib, which is also like sort of like hard flex, and that's how I would describe this nib as well. So you can use this for daily writing because it has like a little bit firm, extra fine writing. But you can also like do some line variations if you push it a little bit. And I just want to say this nib had very high expectations because I waited a year and a half for my order to come in. And in terms of reverse writing, it's terrible. It's not made for that. It's an extra fine tipping, so keep that in mind. And the reason for this pen is the line variation, right? And you can get line variation, obviously, because this is a calligraphy nib, but you have to push it a little bit. And it is not as easy as you would expect at this price point, because this is a very expensive flex nib. Especially, I think this is the highest price flex nib in the market as of right now. And for that price, it is not that great. That's just my opinion. You will see, I will go into more like detail about it in the next portion of the video, but it is sort of dry for a flex nib, which is disappointing because Montblanc pens usually are a little bit more wet. And yeah, this is supposed to be this was supposed to be the pinnacle of flex nibs in this modern era, but it's not. So as you can see, I'm pushing the nib as much as I can without like going overboard to damage the nib. And when I do that, right, you will see that you will get skipping and railroading, and the feet cannot keep up with the nib, and that's very disappointing. And I think this has to do with the plastic nib, or just something with how they made it, because the Pilot number 10 FA nib is actually twice as better than this in terms of softness. I don't get any railroading with that, and just way better than this. And that thing costs less than $200 compared to this, which is near $1,000. So it's very disappointing. And as you can see, if you go slowly, you can definitely get line variation without railroading. But if you go a little bit faster, you can notice the railroading, skipping, and the dry nib, which is very disappointing for a pen at this price point. And I wish that was not the case, but that is just reality. And if you really want a very soft flex nib, you can check out my video that I will post about comparing this to the number 15 FA nib by Pilot and my number 10 FA nib, which is actually softer and, in my opinion, the best modern flex nib in the market as of right now. And Pilot has two of the best modern flex nibs. Now let's get into just the pros and cons of this pen and this nib more specifically. One of the pros is the nib if you like to write slowly. It's not great for people that like to write fast for expressive writing. And another good thing about this is a piston filler. You can have more ink, which is not the case with the Pilot number 10 FA nib pens because those are cartridge converters. You have the prestige factor, if you care about that, like social status factor. The cons. One of the biggest cons is that you get some railroading if you go a little bit fast. And even if you go slow, sometimes you get railroading because it cannot keep up with the ink. The feet cannot keep up. That's the problem. And it's dry. It should not be dry at this price point, and it's just very disappointing. And the price. This pen is damn near $1,000, and it did not live up to my expectations. And I will try to send this to a Nibmeisters and try to make it more wet, but it is very disappointing at a price point of $1,000 that when you receive this pen, your pen is dry and has railroading issues, which should not be the case. In the end, it all comes down to preferences. if you really like Montblanc pens, if you really care about that SunCap logo, then this pen can be great for you if you enjoy extra fine writing, because you can write with this pen regularly for just extra fine writing, but you cannot just have hard pressure because you might accidentally spread the tines, because keep in mind it's still a calligraphy nib. So this is a great nib for people with dual purpose uses, just like how people use Palettes number 15 FA nib, which is a hard flex, and that's the same case with this. This is not a soft flex by any means. I saw some reviews saying this is one of the best modern flex nibs. I completely disagree. I think the best modern flex nib as of right now is, at number 1 is Palettes number 10 FA nib, which is the softest, and I had barely any railroading. The only time you get railroading is if you go super fast, but no one actually goes super fast. And number 2 is the Palettes number 15 FA nib. At number 3 might be this Montblanc 149, but this is like 4 times more expensive than those pens. So there should be no reason why this pen has performed this poorly at its price point. And I expected better from Montblanc in general, because it's a big brand. They have the resources to put in to make a great calligraphy nib, but they didn't. And that's just my personal opinion. That's just from my experience of testing this pen. I've tested for about a month now, and yeah, it's just very disappointing. And I might send this to a nib mic just to make it a little bit more wet, but that will not fix the softness of the nib, because it's not that soft. It makes it hard to express writing as easily as it is with the Palettes number 10 FA nib. So if you, in the end, if you really want a modern flex nib that does not railroad, that is not dry, and that is great for just everyday use with just calligraphy work, then I would go with Palettes number 10 FA nib. I will post 2 videos, one comparing this to the Palettes Custom 8-3 FA nib, which is at number 15 size, and I will post a video comparing number 15 versus number 10 FA nibs by Palette, because those are the best modern flex nibs in the market as of today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.